नमस्ते।
Uh,
कुमार भैया,
परीक्षित भैया, आपने पीपीटी शेयर किया है?
नमस्ते। Who's sharing the PPT here right now जो play हो रही है? Anyone who's playing the PPT?
Didi, it is the screen is from Parikshit Bhaiya. There is a message in the top.
I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're audible. Which is the...
Yes, Bhaiya, you are audible.
we don't know where you are. Can you change your name? Because we are not able to understand which one you are, where you
I
are.
think now I have shifted to webinar. Yeah.
No, you shifted to webinar, but your name is not there. So we are also...
Yes, because some other login has been used.
Yeah, but can you rename yourself so we know where you are? And tech team, can you all bring the other members in the webinar?
I think, Bhaiya, is it Parikshit Agrawal? You are renaming me. ठीक.
Because Manoj ji and all are in the backstage still. I'll go there and maybe...
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Please let me know when I have to start.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
But they have to
Didi,
still join.
we have to wait for 2 minutes because Pooja Didi didn't enter. Okay, sure, she is all. Ilan Didi, shall we start?
Yeah, please start.
Pooja Didi?
Yes, Didi.
Yeah, please start.
Namaste to all. I, Dr. Pooja Firwani, a UHV volunteer working at MGM School of Pharmacy, welcome all of y'all on the Zoom and YouTube. On behalf of the organizing team of the 9th International Conference on Human Values in Higher Education. In the morning, we heard a lot of proposals were discussed. Now, we would look at the implementation of these proposals. with respect to some institutes who have implemented it. So welcome to this room of institutional sharing. I would like to introduce our chairperson, Dr. Manoj Tarambaleji, who is a PhD in electrical engineering. Sir is working as a principal at PVG College of Engineering and Technology at Pune. He has 32 years of academic and industrial experience. He has worked as a consultant. He has also been a keynote speaker and chaired various sessions. Welcome, sir. I would also like to welcome our second chairperson, Dr. Ila Didiaji, who is presently the director at Anveshanam Foundation. She was working in a college and has 42 years of teaching experience. She was the principal in charge and the IQAC coordinator. She has a doctorate in textiles and clothing. She has been associated with UHV work and has been volunteering since July 2020. Welcome, Didi. I would now like to invite Ila Didi to take the program forward. Thank you. जी दीदी. Sangeeta Didi.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
जी, Ila.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pooja Didi, for the introduction. I would just like to say a few words. As we are all aware that the theory that is the content of UHV is very important, because that's what shapes our mind and that's what shapes our imagination. That's what shapes our thinking. At the same time, while this content is being placed in various institutions to faculty and students, it is also it is good to see the impact that it has created in these institutions, because one can see it in the form of the change that has happened, the transformations that have happened. And these transformations that have happened do happen, it is reflected in the behavior of various people. So it'll be nice to go through it. And today we have a very eminent resource person, Dr. Kumar Sambhav, who represents a very esteemed institute, AKTU. And he has long years of experience, more than 30 years of teaching experience, almost more than 2.5 decades into the work of universal human values. And we'll be hearing him. And we also have another presentation, which I will be introducing slowly about that also. So we have two presentations. The second presentation, we will have it gradually. The time slot that has been allocated is 40 minutes per presentation. 30 minutes will be your presentation and 10 minutes will be the discussion. And I welcome each one of you, all the delegates who are there on the Zoom, as well as who are there on the YouTube. Welcome to this second day sharing session in room 1. And we are very honored to have our chairperson, Manojji, with us from the PVG Institute. Welcome to you and welcome to all my colleagues who are also present here. So it's time for you, Dr. Kumar Sambhav, to begin your presentation. We are waiting to hear your story.
Thank you, Dr. Ila. You have already introduced me. So let me say that I am presently teaching at UP Institute of Design at Noida, and it is one of the constituent colleges of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. So I take it as a privilege to share the development.
I can also see in your screen there are many students who are present right now and faculty. So a special welcome to all of you.
Yeah. So I am presently presenting from AKGEC
Yeah.
at Ghaziabad, and our students and faculty and staff are here as a part of the same.
Very nice.
So very briefly, I'll share the journey that has taken place. I think I need to complete my presentation by 10 past 1 probably, so that we can have 5 to 10 minutes for question answer.
Sure.
I'll plan accordingly.
Yeah.
So the journey started at AKTU. It is called Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University in 2009. And the journey that has taken place in the past 15 years, briefly I'm going to talk about it. The university was earlier called as UP Technical University. It was established in the year 2000, and presently it has 764 colleges or institutions affiliated to it. It has 4 constituent colleges: Institute of Engineering Technology at Lucknow, Faculty of Architecture and Planning at Lucknow, Center for Advanced Studies at Lucknow, and UP Institute of Design, Noida, where I am there. It also has 2 departments, Faculty of Pharmacy and Faculty of Management. The university started as UP Technical University, and it was reconstituted as Gautam Buddha Technical University, Lucknow, and Mahamaya Technical University, Noida in 2010. Subsequently, UP government again combined Gautam Buddha Technical University and Mahamaya Technical University in 2013, and it got reconstituted as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. So you'll see that earlier the faculty who attend the workshop, so they got the certificates with the affiliation of UPTU, then it became GBTU and MTU, and then successively it became AKTU. If you look at the journey, so the journey of value education in the university has been quite encouraging. Value education was introduced through one-day seminar on integration of human values in technical education on 10th of January 2009. And let me say that I also happened to be a part of that seminar in 2009. And it was to address the need and role of value education in the holistic development of the nation. So in that seminar, directors and principals of the university, where all the affiliated colleges were there, and at that time there were more than 500 colleges, if I remember correctly. They participated in the seminar to understand the real need and application for value education. And it was something new in the Indian universities, because at that time, no university as such was teaching this kind of course. So it was something new, and there were so many questions that were addressed, that why should a course on value education be introduced in technical education? Can values be taught in a classroom setup? Do we need to have examinations in the course or not? How will the faculty get developed for the courses? Because it is not something just as an information transfer that you are going to teach something in the classroom and the job gets done. We are basically talking about the transformation of the lives of the students and the institution also, I'll say. So how will it get happen? So there were so many fresh questions that were asked. Also, whether values can be taught or they only have to be caught, whether we have to have credits for the courses or not. So many things were discussed at that time. And I am happy to share that the then Vice Chancellor, Professor Prembrat, he was quite forthcoming in taking up this challenge. And he made it a point that this kind of course has to be implemented. So a meeting of convener of Board of Studies was held in the chairmanship of Vice Chancellor, sir, after the seminar, to discuss and consider the introduction of the value education as a subject across the courses offered by the university. So the committee decided to introduce value education in the form of a subject as an audit course initially, and it was titled as Human Values and Professional Ethics. And the curriculum that were chosen were BTech, B Pharma, BHMCT, BFAD, BArch, MCA, and MBA courses. And the colleges were more than 500 in number, and all the colleges where these courses were running, they started running this course. The course initially included 2 hours of lecture and 2 hours of practice session, and the practice sessions were a little different. They were in the forward discussion, sharing of experiences, case studies. So as we are doing here in the conference, in a similar manner, it was proposed that the institutions will be having 2 hours of session every week so that the students can share what they feel, what they understand, how they have been able to see the changes in them. So this was the way it was planned. The students could appear for this subject in any year and were supposed to clear it in their degree course. So initially, it was not a mandate that they have to study in the second year or third year or so. So they could opt for it in any semester, only that they had to clear the course, and it was an audit course to begin with. It was also decided that teachers should go through the Teachers Orientation Program. In short, it was called as TOP before teaching the course. And based on the deliberation, UHV was adopted as an audit course in 2009. And let me also remember that this was the year in which we started writing the book also for human values and professional ethics. So a team of authors were formed and a team was dedicatedly working towards it. And we worked for, let's say, 4 to 5 months. And then the book came up by the end of the year. So this year 2009 has been quite, I'll say, revolutionizing in terms of initiating the program for value education in the country. There have been 15 years now, and I can see that a huge amount of development has taken place in the past 15 years. And now that we are having this international conference on human values in the online mode, I see a big possibility here that in the next 15 years, maybe we are going to have this kind of course implemented across several universities in several countries of the world. I see this as a huge possibility. In the past 15 years, we have developed enough resource material, and I'm thankful to the faculty of AKTU. So when it was adopted in online mode in the year 2020, so our team of faculty who had developed as resource person or potential resource person or co-facilitators, they now started spreading to other parts of the country and started conducting workshops in online mode as well as now in presently in face-to-face mode also. So a big team got evolved in the work that took place in the first 10 years, I'll say, in AKTU. Presently, the university has made 3-week sprint induction program mandatory for all the colleges, and I'm also a part of the faculty of value education. So the university has formed faculty of value education, which has 1 dean and 2 associate deans. I happen to be one of the associate deans here. AICT, there is a mandatory 3 credit course of UHV 2 in the second year for all programs except architecture and pharmacy. Earlier, it was also included in architecture and pharmacy, but with the passage of time, architecture came under Council of Architecture and pharmacy came under Pharmacy Council, and the 2 councils still have to approve this course as a mandatory course for the students. So except for these 2 programs, the course has been running in all other programs. The university was also forthcoming in not only running 1 course, it added some value-added courses. So the 5 elective courses were added. So initially, it started as an audit course, 2 hours and 2 hours of lecture and 2 hours of practice session. Then it became a credit course with 3 units. And the then Vice Chancellor, Professor Vinay Pathak, decided that let us have more elective courses. So the student induction program was initiated in the first year, then the credit course in the second year. And now presently, I think all the students sitting here are aware of this, that in the 3rd and 4th year, we have electives. So in the 6th semester, we have 1 elective. In the 7th semester, we have 1 elective. And in the 8th semester, we have 1 basket of electives where there are 3 electives. So in addition to the mandatory course in the second year, we have 5 elective courses. It was also mandated that every institute has to form value education cell as per the directives of the university. And it was made it a point that the director of the institute has to head the value education cell, and only those faculty members who had gone through the workshop and who had been able to see some transformation in them could be a part of the value education cell, so that this value education cell becomes a kind of nucleation center for the entire institution. And the place where I am here, AKGEC, so this institution itself has become a nucleation center for the entire region, I'll say. The Faculty of Value Education has been trying sincerely to develop more and more resource persons, nodal centers, value education cells in the institutions, and to make teaching and evaluation effective for all UHV courses. So you can see that the whole course of human values is a process of self-exploration. So the teaching pedagogy is somewhat different. Let me share my experience here. So when I teach this particular course in the class, so first of all, I propose the content to the students, and the students then try to, first of all, listen to the definition, the classification, the elaboration of the content being presented, and then they are given to reflect on the basis of their natural acceptance. So a dialogue takes place between me and the students, and then we assign such tasks and projects and assignments so that they can try to live accordingly and also validate in their living. So when we go to set up the question papers also, then we do follow the Bloom's taxonomy, and in that the first stage is remembering, and I'll say that remembering is also a very essential component in this course, because the terms or the definitions that we are proposing are very important for the child to remember. For example, when I'm talking about happiness, and if I just ask the student to write about happiness by oneself, he or she can write anything, and that may not fetch marks. So the first task is to remember the proposals being put forward in the course correctly. And I think a major share has to go for remembering also, and then they can go for analyzing or evaluating or even creating. Even in the question papers, we ask questions for creating. For example, if I am explaining the meaning of respect, so maybe when I set a question paper, I'll give a question like, let's say a dialogue is taking place between a father and a son, and the father has to explain the meaning of respect to the son. Now write a script here in 2 pages with, let's say 500 words, and explain how the father can elaborate on the meaning of respect, and the child has to go through that exploration. So this kind of creativity is also employed while setting up the question papers. So if you look at the courses that are being run, so in the student induction program, it is UHV 1. So the student induction program has 9 modules, and the first module is UHV, where there are 15 lectures, and the lectures are designed in such a way that the student can get inducted into the new atmosphere. So how to cope up with the peer pressure, how to take care of health, how to take care of hygiene, how to start relating to the students without any differentiation. And I'll say that after the introduction of student induction program, the problem of ragging has largely, almost I'll say, got vanished. In my institution, I can certainly see that there is no issue of ragging at all. There's so much of mingling among the fresh students and the senior batches that there is no scope for ragging at all. So this induction program has been quite instrumental in harmonizing the atmosphere in the institution, and particularly the relations among the students. So out of the 9 modules, 1 module is UHV, and there are 15 lectures here. And for one lecture, at least 1.5 hours have to be devoted. So 22.5 hours going to sharing the content of the UHV in the SIP. Then we have UHV 2 in the second year, the foundation course in human values and professional ethics, understanding harmony in ethical human conduct. So here we have 42 lectures, I'll say, or 28 lectures and 14 practice sessions. And this is spread over the whole semester. It has 3 credits. Then we have elective courses also, as I was mentioning. So there are 5 elective courses. The first one is UHV 3, understanding human being, nature, and existence comprehensively, in the 6th semester. Then we have UHV 4, vision for humane society, which is just and equitable, in semester 7. And then UHV 5, human values in different philosophies, and there are 3 philosophies chosen for that, and we are still adding new courses to this basket. So Vedic Darshan, Jain and Bauddha Darshan, and Madhyav Darshan. These are the 3 courses in this basket. The university has also been forthcoming in introducing minor degree in human values. So the student has to earn 18 credits in the minor degree. In addition to these courses, the student can opt for human psychology, which is called as UHV 6. Then UHV 7 has 2 courses in the basket, a foundation course in holistic human health and human sociology. And in, again, the next course is UHV 8, that is human economics. And we are also trying to develop the course material for all these courses. AICT has also adopted the minor degree. I'll say that a major effort has been put forward by the faculty and the team of AKTU in this direction, and it has now got accepted for all the colleges across the country. Now, initially when we are having the teacher orientation programs, so we used to call it as Parichaya Shivir. So the way it was designed earlier, because we were having all the workshops in the face-to-face mode, and we used to have 8 days of workshop. So 8 days Parichaya Shivir level 1, it was for faculty preparation. And by 2019, before the pandemic got spread, nearly 8,000 faculty had got oriented across all the colleges in Uttar Pradesh. Then we also had higher level faculty development programs. So after the faculty attends PSL 1, one had to go through refresher level 1. And then it was Paricha Shivar level 2, which was basically meant for teaching UHV 3. And then PSL 3 also got introduced. It was also to enrich the teaching of UHV 3. A team of more than 200 volunteers evolved from 2009 to 2019. And let me say that all the faculty members, all the volunteers who are into this program are working on a pro bono basis. Rather, they are investing from their side. In place of taking any remuneration, any kind of monetary benefit from this program, they are rather investing their mind, body, and wealth into this whole program. We can also see that the efforts that took place in AKTU over the past so many years has also given a new direction to the vision of how this kind of program can be successful in any society. Then active volunteers developed as resource persons and potential resource persons to take up the task of expansion at the national level with the effort put in by AICT. Then 2020 marked a new beginning with the initiation of online workshops under AICT, and to date more than 200 online workshops have been conducted with the active participation of many of the AKTU volunteers, and the process is still on. So if you look at the data till 2019, so the facilitators for 3-day and 7 or 8-day workshops, if you look at the numbers, it is 140. This much work had been done. These many faculty members had got developed by that time. So some of them are resource persons who are able to conduct the full workshop. Some of them are co-facilitators. Some are going to the workshop as observers. So this way, there is a whole team, and I'm sharing this data only up to 2019. The number has gone up again in the past 7 years, past 5 years. Then we had planned 50 nodal centers, out of which more than 25 nodal centers were quite active. We had planned 10 regional nodal centers, and again I'll say that more than 5 nodal centers were acting quite responsibly to be a regional nodal center. Then we had conducted 100 workshops in face-to-face mode. The number of faculty which had got oriented was 8,000, and the number of evaluated courses is 6, which is there in the university. The number of UHV teachers is 7,000, and we had designed different kinds of FDP. So about 7 kinds of FDP were being run in the university. This is a list of the workshops that took place in 2018 and 19, and we can see that a huge number of workshops got conducted. So here we can see 90 workshops at various colleges, and these are the colleges which are the nodal centers. And we can see the dates and the particulars, how many faculty have gone through the workshops. So I'll thank the whole team for taking this program with such a pace on a pro bono basis. We also organized conferences, international as well as national. So in 2017, AKTU hosted the 6th international conference at IIT Kanpur. Currently, we are having the 9th conference. And the proceedings of the conference were documented, and the progress and the impact of value education was well documented there. In 2018, we had the first national conference on human values in higher education, and the theme was developing a holistic perspective. In 2019, we had the second national conference on universal human values. So these are few glimpses of the conferences. Now, if you look at the encouraging results, which is motivating for the program across the country, so the faculty are willing to invest their own time and money in UHV related educational activities. The deans and HODs have become more responsive to value education activities. Referral admissions have increased. When the parents are able to see the definiteness of conduct of their children, then a natural response comes from the society also, that this college is good. If the students behave well after graduating, if they take care of their parents, if they are responsible in their behavior and work, then of course the referral admissions will go up. So there are many indirect impacts also through promotion of this kind of course. There is a strong demand for evening and family workshops. So before the pandemic, we were conducting regularly the evening and family workshops. We can see more self-discipline here, Reduced need for externally enforced discipline. For example, attendance and academic sincerity have increased. More responsible utilization of institute and hostel resources. Relationships have improved. Greater voluntary participation in the institute and social activities have can be seen. So we are able to get this kind of feedback through the sharing of the faculty, students, parents, and also through the forms that we share after the completion of the course or the workshop. These are again few glimpses of the workshop that were conducted in face-to-face mode, and many workshops were organized in this manner. There are some more glimpses of the workshop that got conducted. University, in addition to conducting programs on human knowledge, has also been doing so many extension activities like adoption of Anganwadis, adoption of villages, adoption of TB patients, taking care of the slum areas, teaching children in the slum areas. So many activities, about 10 kinds of activities are being done by the university, and I thank all the colleges of the university which are doing this voluntarily from their side. This is just a glimpse of the induction program. So at UPID in the first semester, we consistently have been conducting a 3-week induction program where all the components are taken care of. So this is the schedule of the induction program, and as a part of the value education cell of the university, we do bring a circular regularly that every institution has to run a 3-week induction program, and we take the data also from the colleges after the completion of the period. These are some of the feedback forms that got filled up by the students. So you can see how the students have benefited from the SIP. They have written and submitted to us. Now, after completion of the course in the second year, it can be third semester or fourth semester, we share a Google form with the students, and the students write on their own how they felt about the course. For example, here the question is, as a result of the Universal Human Values and Ethics course, do you have a better understanding of physical facilities in life? So you can see that most of the students have agreed to this, that yes. In fact, there are some simple takeaways which the students are able to comprehend very well. They are able to see that the need for physical facility is limited. And this is something that comes out through sharing also. This is something that comes out through their feedback also. Your motivation to attend the UHV classes and to participate actively has gone up. So many questions we keep on asking at the end of the course, and the students fill up the form. And we can see very encouraging response coming from the students. I will not go through all the questions and the data. It may take some more time. So towards health, whether they have become more responsible, they are able to see that yes, it can be practiced by an individual. The negative emotions have come down, isn't it? So you can see like doubt and intention, anger, greed, jealousy, irritation, all these kinds of ill feelings have come down. Did the course help you in understanding relationships, and you are able to have better relationship with your parents, teachers, friends, and they all agree, mostly they agree to this. This is one circular that was brought out. So the colleges had to run the SIPs effectively and then submit their reports to these nodal centers. So 26 nodal centers are mentioned here. The circular has been brought out by the Faculty of Education. So this is something that is done very consistently. Sometime during the pandemic, the process got somewhat obstructed, but again, we are trying to bring the things on track. Then we also have survey for inputs in the face-to-face mode. So these are the survey forms. Now, if you look at a gist of the impact that has taken place, so as a result of the Universal Human Values and Ethics course, the students have a better understanding of physical facilities in life. They are able to see that the unhappiness is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship than due to lack of physical facility. This is something that they have shared through the Google form. Their understanding of the purpose of education is better now. They are more motivated to attend classes in the current and the future semesters and become more attentive in the classes. As a result of the course, the students are clearer of the meaning of the happiness. They are able to see that happiness is to be in harmony. It's not something to be derived from sensation or from feelings borrowed from others, but it is something innate to oneself, and it is based on right understanding. I'll not say that the total transformation has taken place, but students at least get a glimpse of this. They are able to see that yes, this is it. I'll share one incident that one student did some mischief He was in the third year, and he was brought to me. I am presently the director of the institute also. He was brought to me. Then I asked him that, why did you do this? Then he said, ki maja aaya. Then I asked him that, the happiness that you got, is it continuous or temporary? He said temporary. Then I said that, what can be the program for continuous happiness then? And then he started smiling. So then I asked him, what is your takeaway from the course that you attended? So he said that, I'm very clearly able to see that the basic aspiration is happiness. So in future also, whenever I make some program, I'll try to see that, yes, the intention is happiness and not something else. So there are multiple takeaways. They are able to see that values can be practiced by every individual. Their negative emotions have reduced as a result of the course. The course has made the students more responsible toward health. They are able to see that the contents of the course are appropriate for university students. They feel that they can be more self-disciplined, and this has helped them in their transition from school to university. The UHV experience has been transformational in terms of starting a process of self-exploration and reflective thinking in them. The course helped them in understanding relationship, and as a result, they feel committed to try to develop better relationship and more meaningful interaction with their family members, friends, and teachers. And they become willing to work for socially useful projects and mentoring their junior students. Presently, one MDes student is working under me, and her project is developing toys and games for class 9 to 12, where the value inputs can be given to the students through games and toys. So this kind of projects students are taking up. So essentially, we feel committed for this transformation through education. So with human education, we can be able to develop human consciousness so that people are able to live with values and they have a definite conduct, so that the education becomes a pillar of human society. So all of us are there in this process. With the limitation of time, I'll share this much, and now I am open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was very heartening to understand, to hear the entire journey of from 2009 till 2024. And we can say that the earlier Vice Chancellor, Professor Prem Rath, whom you mentioned, had begun this entire journey after the conference, I think, and then led by all the heads of the institutions, faculty, students. I think it's a very fantastic journey that it's really worth understanding for all institutions. It's a great example for everyone, all of us, and how much efforts that have been gone in is unimaginable, because the kind of results that we can see, that the impact that has been created on the admissions, on the students' outlook, on the number of, you can say, the effort that is going on even to develop other institutions and the community. I mean, it is manifold. The results that you all can see is manifold. And the number of courses that are introduced at every semester, the innovation of the courses, wherein you'll have brought in psychology, economics, different philosophies. So much of it has been done. I think it's a great example that one university can do so much for an entire state, for an entire nation, and for, you can say, the world at large. Many of your faculty have been resource persons, observers, and co-facilitators in various online, offline workshops, which definitely have helped to develop many more other faculty in nationwide. So it's really a very good journey. And I'm sure there would be participants who would have questions to ask. So we open this forum for questions. We congratulate all the higher-ups, the policymakers of your institutions, the university and the various institutions which have led this journey so far. Yeah, if there are any questions, in the meanwhile, you can raise your hand.
Small projection, Dr. Kumar Sambhav. I am Professor Parashar from AKG itself. Small projection in the sense that you have spoken about the evolution of human values in AKTU. Being a nodal center and later on being a regional center, we had held a feedback workshop some 5 years back. And after brainstorming, the very common observation or conclusion put were, number one, that the lectures in all colleges for human values should be in the pre-lunch session. In many colleges, it used to be post-lunch session where, there used to be difficulty in imparting the contents to the students, number one. Number two, it was felt that instead of having 4 lectures on 4 days, we should have 2 lectures at a time so that more discussion can take place, more contents can be covered. And we had communicated this to AKTU. In our college, we had implemented it immediately. Till today, we are having the same. We have lectures in the morning hours, 2 lectures at a time. But I think I'm doubtful, as we heard, other colleges probably have not implemented this. We found it very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be a nice initiative. In fact, it can be proposed to the colleges, but we cannot mandate it because the timetable is up to the colleges. So they have to design according to themselves. Yeah.
It was a recommendation to be.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
we can certainly suggest this, but maybe you cannot mandate this.
You may have to take it up at the AKTU level.
I
Just
can
a
suggest
small observation and
certainly.
projection.
Thank you so much for sharing this. Yes, I think there was some hand raise and the mic has been provided. Lakshmikant ji. Okay, is there anyone on the YouTube or anywhere who would like to ask questions? If no, I have a question.
Yes.
Directly to Kumar Sambhav. Kumarji, you have done your BTech, MTech, PhD from IIT Kanpur in mechanical engineering. You yourself would have been in the corporate world after all these degrees. So is it that one conference that you attended made you move in your journey to the value education, or what was it exactly? Because right now also you spend hours in preparation, in delivery, the morning sessions that you connect with, the other activities of UHV that you are connected with. What charged you up in the initial years? If you can throw light on that.
Yeah, very briefly. So when I came to study at IIT for BTech, then I had certain questions within me for which I was looking for the answers. And I took up courses on philosophy and psychology, but that could not satisfy me. In the second year, I met Ganeshji, and after talking to Ganeshji, I got the clue that what is basically my question and what could basically be the answer. So that was way back in 1996 in the second year when I met Ganeshji, and since then I've been taking his guidance and progressing in my life.
That's very nice that along with AKTU, your development is connected. I mean, it's one for the other, I would say, and it's inseparable. Your past former Vice Chancellor, you and so many other faculty whom we may not know, heads of institutions and faculty in the university, who may have contributed to this kind of a development. It's like a magnanimous development, I would say. It's really, really great. It's
I'd also like to thank Professor J.P. Pandey, the present Vice Chancellor. In his tenure only, the minor degree has been implemented in the university, and he also has been taking so many initiatives to run the courses effectively. So I'm thankful to him also, and I think the entire university is thankful to him.
Yeah, that's what even I can see, even the current developments. So it is actually the policymakers in your university who have contributed to this, what has happened. So we really congratulate you and the entire team. If there are no questions, then we certainly move ahead.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. And we will definitely hear from the chairperson at the end, after from Manojji also, after both the presentations are over. I know Manojji is waiting to share. He also cannot stop sharing. But but we will go for the other presentation, and then maybe you can collectively give your views.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
definitely.
Ila Didi, we can have a comment from Manojji also because Dr. Agrawal didn't join yet and I'm doing calling. So you
He's
He
can.
has
there, I
joined.
think.
He has
I
joined.
think
He's
he's
sitting by
already joined.
Ganesh ji.
He's there. I can already see him. Because I saw him yesterday, so I know who he is. So we will go for the second presentation and then we'll come back to the reflections by the chair. So can we now introduce to another magnanimous institute again coming, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. And we have the presenter, Director General himself, Dr. A.K. Agarwal. So this is what happens when the person at the helm of an institution is himself immersed in values, immersed in value education. This is what can happen to a larger organization. So just to introduce Dr. Agarwal, he has served the nation. He has served the nation with distinction for 28 years in the Indian Air Force. So he's Captain Dr. A.K. Agarwal, R.K. Agarwal, and also served in the DRDO, followed by 20 years in education as the director of Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So without spending more time, in introduction, yes, I know Dr. Agarwal is also IIT, IISc. He's a bachelor's, master's, and PhD from very esteemed universities in India, as well as his master's from Canfield, UK. He's currently the member of the Aeronautical Research and Development Board, President, Ghaziabad Management Association, member of the CII, a lot of huge academic organizations where he is. Of course, his focus areas on academic excellence and all-round development of students, industry academic collaborations, and inculcating human values, ethics, and work culture with a positive attitude. Here, the platform is for you now. Waiting to hear you, Dr. Agarwal.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and Jai Hind to everyone.
Jai Hind.
I'm indeed grateful and thankful to the organizers for giving me this great opportunity to share my thoughts and our effort in integrating the value education into our institution. I also feel honored that the initiator, the originator of this entire scheme of things, Ganesh Bagadia ji, is sitting as an audience and I'm talking. Ordinarily, it should be the other way around. He's a role model for me and I think for many of us. I've also been very fortunate. This is the 9th international conference. And I've been fortunate to attend few of these, including the one at Bhutan. And it's a matter of great pride, pleasure, that year after year, the conference is growing, both in terms of the number of people, the number of institutions who are joining this conference. And this year, particularly being hybrid, I believe there are a number of people from other countries, other than Asian and Asia Pacific countries, who also been part of it. So in the next half an hour or so, I'll try to take you through our efforts in integrating value education into our institution, as well as the impact that it has had on our students and our faculty members. I think it'll not be out of order to very, very briefly introduce you to our institution. AKG Engineering College was started in 1998, and we run a BTech, MTech, MCA, and also MBA programs. We are generally doing very well academically, and we've always been getting the largest number of medals in the university. The state of UP to be accredited by NAC with A++ grading. We also put a lot of emphasis on all-round development of our students in terms of cultural activities, sports activities, and so on. And it is not surprising. Am I audible now? Is it okay? Okay, sorry. So it's
Yeah,
not a
it's okay.
surprise that in almost all sports and cultural activities, including the All India hackathons, our students always perform very well. Sometime back, we realized that academic excellence, all-round development does not truly lead to good life or good placement for my students. So at that time, we also started concentrating on industry academia collaborations. And I'm very happy to share that now we are in the forefront in this particular field as well. In fact, we are the first and only institution in the state of UP to have approval from DST for Centers of Relevance and Excellence in Automation and Robotics. We also are the only institution in UP to have a skill development center approved and supported by NSDC. And also our latest venture, Common Facility Center, approved and supported by the government of UP for the industries of Ghaziabad. So that's as far as our college is concerned. I think for everything to start, I always believe that we should be aware of the present state and we should somehow be conscious of what is deficit in the present state and then think of what changes are needed and work towards those changes with conviction. And the same thing is with value education and human values. So I would just like to spend a few minutes to see what the present state of education in our institutions generally is in terms of universal human values. So all of us know that all institutions, including mine, we focus on academic excellence, results, employability, etc. And our entire education system is skill-based. That is, we give emphasis on how to do, but not what and why to do. We somehow do not realize the complementarity of skills and values, because without values, the skills alone can possibly lead us in a wrong direction. So that is one of the things that we notice in our education system. Also, I think most of us, not just educators and otherwise, we have a misconception about the physical facilities being not just necessary, of course they're necessary, but also being sufficient for happiness. So most of us have started believing and started working towards accumulating physical facilities. Now, of course, these are okay for animals, but we don't want to live in animal consciousness. So as far as human beings are concerned, it always leads to a feeling of deficit because we will never have adequate facilities. So right understanding and also importance to relationship is what is lacking and what we thought that we should cover up now. Lastly, the lack of awareness and importance about nature. So most of us never consciously think of preserving, of sustainability issues. So all these fundamental flaws in the education system is what we realized and what Ganesh Bagariaji's direction in this entire scheme of things is trying to overcome now. The result of what has been happening, of course, at the individual level, all of us know, is increasing internal conflicts, contradictions, and stress level. All of us suffer from that. There's been a constant degradation in relationships within the family, with our spouses, with our parents, with our relatives, in the work situation with our colleagues. There's been a constant degradation in relationships. Also, if we look at the society in general, there is an increasing aggression, reactiveness, corruption is increasing, of course, and exploitation of nature, the level of wastage that all of us are doing is amazing. So fundamentally, what we realized and what Ganeshji started his entire thing is that the education system has failed to fulfill the fundamental aspirations of happiness, harmony, peace, and prosperity. and also a just and equitable society. So with these considerations, we started off our journey towards incorporating, integrating the human values into our education system. And I always also stress the word integrating, because values are not something that we can add or incorporate. They have to be an integral part of the education system. So anyone wanting to introduce in the education system must understand that they're going to be part of every facet of our education system. It cannot just be a curriculum. So what we started doing was, firstly, in 2009 and 10, we started a compulsory foundation course in universal human values. I think it was started all over the UP Technical University at that time. And earlier, many other universities that tried it. So initially, it was an audit course, and subsequently, presently, it's a credit course. Even though this course was imposed by the university, there were a lot of challenges. It was not easy to run it the way we wanted to run it. First and foremost, all of us, including myself, had a doubt, can we teach human values? Can the values be taught? Because all of us know that values are not instructional, they're actually transformational. They cannot truly be taught as a course alone. We also were not too sure of the effectiveness, and the impact was not certain. We didn't know how the students will accept it, how an engineering or a professional student will take to attending classes, take to absorbing something which is not part of his regular curriculum. Another challenge was asking the engineering faculty to start teaching values, to firstly go to IIT Kanpur. At that time, IIT Kanpur was running these foundation courses, training the faculty members to conduct this program. It was really a challenge to choose the right faculty to go for these courses, to learn enough to be able to conduct this program for the students then. Because it is not just understanding the subject, even the teaching methodology was different. So it is not just instructional. In fact, value education totally based on proposals. And all we are trying to do is to encourage the students for self-exploration, to encourage the student for self-verification. So the teacher also had to change from a sage on a stage to the guide by the side. So these were the challenges that slowly, and I think all that was required was persistence. So we chose senior faculty. We chose faculty who believe were actually interested and convinced about integrating the values. So that was the beginning. We also realized that unless the environment supports what we are doing in the classroom, it cannot be permanent. It will be temporary. So the value education has to be a holistic education for which the supporting environment has to be there. So for that purpose, in addition to running the courses and the workshops, we also did take steps to inculcate the responsibility towards nature, and also to tell our students about their civic and social responsibilities. I'll cover as to what programs we did for these values to be inculcated in our students. The present status for the UHV program. So as I mentioned, this UHV2, which is called UHV2 now, became from an audit course to a credit course. About 4 years back, we also introduced human values into our fundamental induction program, which is a 3 weeks program for all students who join the institution, so that right from the beginning they get into thinking about values. In addition to that, in our institution, we also run 3 elective programs in 3rd and 4th year. And I'm very happy to share that the choice of students for these electives is very, very encouraging. In my institution, the UHV3 and the UHV4 programs, we run 5 to 6 sections of these programs as elective courses. And that is because of the way these are conducted, that is because of the environment that is being created. In addition, what we did and what I propose that everyone who is starting to get into the system should do also is that we adopted a top-down approach. We ensured that all our senior persons, the HODs, the deans, including myself, that we undergo this 8 days workshop first. So we conducted the 8 days workshop for all the senior people of this institution so that we get support from the leadership of this institution. In addition, not just the teachers who are teaching the UHV, in our institution, we made it compulsory for every faculty member to undergo the 8 days UHV2 program. And today, I can say with pride that 100% of my faculty have at least had an exposure of this 8 days human values workshop. We also started incentivizing faculty members to do the advanced level programs so that an environment gets created, because as I said, the values are transformational in nature. So unless we are ignited ourselves, unless we are lit, we cannot pass it on to the others. So when every faculty is aware, when every faculty is doing it, it is much more effective. So today, as I mentioned, level 2, almost all faculty have done. UHV level 3, the advanced course, 25 of my faculty members have done. And the UHV 4, 8 faculty members have done from our college. In addition, we also have 3 days workshops for all non-teaching faculty of our institution, which have been very, very effective. And today, our college has got 7 nationally qualified and recognized faculty members in our value education cell. Sorry, did I press something wrong? Okay. So these 7 people who we call as nationally recognized resource persons are capable of conducting not only UHV2, but also the higher level UHV programs. And making these people what they are is actually a very structured, very systematic process. So first and foremost, these faculty have to themselves undergo the UHV 1, 2, 3, and 4 programs. They got to attend the morning workshops which Ganeshji is conducting, and they have to be part of that workshop as far as their self-building is concerned. For ensuring expression with others, to be able to teach these better, they go through a process initially of becoming observers in the 8 days FTP. Then they become coordinators. Then they become co-facilitators. And after that, and we have few potential resource persons in our institution who very soon will add to this number 7 and also become full resource person. So there's a very structured process whereby we create these resources who can then conduct these programs anywhere. Other than these courses, of course, we also run 2-hour session on UHV for all HODs. It's not being done very regularly because every head of the department has got many other activities to take care of, but it is my intention to regularly keep on refreshing ourselves on these. They need refreshing. We also have in our timetable included a 1.5 hours weekly meeting with the interested faculty on the value education system, and separate meetings for the ones who are actually teaching the course. So the one who are teaching this course to the students, the UHV2 and other courses, meet separately every week for 1.5 hours to discuss the questions that were asked, to discuss the queries that came, and to improve. Based on the requirement given by the faculty members, we also did another step. I was told that 1 class, 1 hour is not adequate to cover the value education kind of a talk because a lot of questions come, a lot of discussions take place. So we started doing two classes in a row. And I also ensured that these classes are done in the morning when the students are most receptive. So these are some additional measures that we took place. In every department of our college, we used to have a monthly seminar done by faculty on technical subjects. I've included now that every department of my college will have a UHV seminar every month conducted by the faculty of that department, but attended and summed up by my UHV cell faculty members. We have a fortnightly meeting with the other staff members also. In addition, as far as the students are concerned, we run a 10 hours evening workshop in the hostels. And I'm very happy to share that when we started this workshop, I think about 3 or 4 years back, Gopal Babu had a tough time collecting students and making them sit with incentives of snacks and tea, etc. But today, when we announce this evening workshop in the hostels, we have to find a place to accommodate these people. So these workshops are very effectively conducted. We also created a program of conscious engineering, which is basically self-introspection, self-reflection kind of a program. And this program is run for about 40 hours. The model is complete Saturday and Sunday, full 8 hours, followed by evenings on the rest 5 days, and the last Saturday and Sunday again full. So this conscious engineering program we have run not just for our students, but also for our faculty and staff. In addition, my VE cell prepares centralized PowerPoint and handouts for class notes so that teaching by all the faculty members is uniform. Then we have a nature club run by students, and they also have created a herbal garden. They have had a sustainable workshop where they started making soaps. We are also part of United Nations Academic Impact Program now. So this is the configuration of our value education cell, which guides and which runs all the programs that I talked about. So Professor V.K. Parashar, who's sitting here, heads this particular team. Gopal Babu is the coordinator, and almost all the other members are equally qualified to conduct any one of these programs. Some photographs of the activities that I mentioned. So the 8 days orientation program for faculty members, not just for our college, we conduct for many institutions, and also we send our faculty to conduct these programs outside the college. Orientation program for directors and HODs, as I mentioned, weekly sharing session with faculty members, and workshops and hostels. These are some of the photographs of our students who are part of the VE cell, the nature club. So they do Shramdan. At the bottom, you can see the herbal garden. This is the conscious engineering workshop. And of course, we are trying to follow now the sustainability development goals given by the UN one by one. We also started a new scheme whereby all the students of the VE cell who pass out and who are now into a profession, who are now working somewhere, we have a meeting with them. So the alumni who come back, and the feedback is so very encouraging. The feedback includes the feedback given by the faculty, by the students to us, as well as the feedback that I collect from the recruiters, from the organizations where they're working. So it is seen that they're able to work in a team, the teamwork has improved. The approach has become more solution-centric. We are all used to finding problems. They are solution-centric. They're able to have better relationships within their family. And they're able to balance the work-life balance, which is very, very important today. Otherwise, the stress levels rise. And they are able to understand the problem at the fundamental level. So these interactions with the VSL students who have graduated and passed out also give us a feedback for modifying and for improving our in-house programs. As I mentioned, unless the environment supports what we are trying to do, it is not easy to continue. These things will get forgotten. So in our institution, we have tried to create an environment that enforces whatever is learned in the classroom. So as an institution, we emphasize human values, ethics, work culture, and a positive attitude amongst all our students. Our institution has uniform and transparent policies. We do not distinguish between anyone based on wherever he's from, whatever his parentage, whatever his state. We have a 100% unbiased and fair approach, zero tolerance for misconduct and indiscipline. This is also very, very important. Because today amongst the student community, and we got 5,000 of these students, discipline is extremely important. We have started a system of rewarding honesty and integrity, starting from our guards to our students to our faculty. Whenever we notice that somebody has gone out of his way to display honesty and integrity, we have complete purity in our academic systems. As I mentioned, in addition to this, the environment also includes sustainability issues. So in our institution, we have an eco-friendly, trash-free green campus. Some of you who have been staying here would have noticed. As far as preservation of resources is concerned, we have a chain of rainwater harvesting wells in our campus, which are connected to all the terraces. Every drop of rainwater goes back to Mother Earth. We also have a sewage treatment plant whereby we recycle the sewage water and use it for horticulture. All our terraces are covered with solar panels. The hostels, the warm water, the hot water is through the solar energy, and we produce about 330 kilowatts of solar energy. So basic principle of ours, our mantra as is written here is optimum usage of natural resources used by mankind is the basic need of the day to maintain the required balance in nature so that we don't deplete the natural resources. The third thing which I mentioned, that we got to make our students aware of their civic and social responsibilities. So our institution, we do a lot of philanthropic work where I involve my students so that when they pass out from here, they at least know what the society outside of our institution is, what is required by the society, and also they learn the joy of giving. Fundamentally, I've seen that when the students get involved, they learn the actual joy of giving. We run annual blood donation camps, whereby once again, like every other activity, our college holds the record of donating more than, I think, 700 units of blood in 1 year. We got a commendation from the blood donation camp from the Rotary Club. We used to run skill development programs for the children of villages from our nearby area. Every summer, we used to collect these students and run skill development programs. And subsequently, we also got involved in Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, DDU GKY. We have trained hundreds of students of 10+2 diploma holders and ITI students and got them jobs. We have adopted a corporation school in Kazipura, where my students go and conduct various events and activities for them. And I provide them certain physical requirements which the government has not done it there. We also run a primary school in our own institution, where all children of our labor who are in the age group of 5 to 12 are called. They are taught the general education for about 6 to 7 hours, and then they given lunch in our messes. We also adopted a refugee camp. Am I running out of time? Okay.
Yeah, you can complete. You were saying something.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if I'm taking too long, then I'll hurry up.
Yeah, maybe the last few minutes.
Last few minutes, okay. So we've adopted a refugee camp also, and we are part of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, whereby we adopted 5 villages. I think let me just touch upon the impact of whatever we have done onto our faculty and staff, because that is what is motivating us to continue onto this path. So first and foremost, because of what we are doing in terms of integrating values into our education system, our students are consistently performing and getting best results. We got a record of having the Chancellor's Medal for the best student across all branches for 5 years in a row in our institution. And what is not mentioned here, the university also started a scheme of having a distinguished alumnus every year. They've done it twice, and I'm happy to report that both the distinguished alumnus of this university, having more than 500 colleges, are from my institution. As I mentioned, highest number of medals, etc. The tangible improvements noticed in our students' conduct is the improved punctuality, attendance in classes, very large reduction in the major and minor cases of indiscipline. And not only that, our proctor, Professor Kapoor, is sitting here. His job is becoming easier year after year because the students are getting self-disciplined now. There has been a strong mentorship among senior students for the juniors, increased involvement in all the societies and social activities. There's been, we measure, we always send our people to see electricity and food wastage. There's been a reduction in wastage of natural resources and a positive feedback from corporates. The corporates come to our institution and tell us that they're hiring our students not just for their technical competence, but also for their conduct, for their stability, for their honesty. As far as the faculty is concerned, there have been improvement in their temperament and reduced level. Transformation of the faculty I've seen is contagious. So even if few faculty get absorbed into this, then seeing their conduct, seeing their behavior, the other ones automatically get sucked in. There is a higher stability of faculty in our institution because their belongingness has increased, healthy interpersonal relationships, and of course, much improved faculty-teacher relationships. We are also the regional nodal center for the university, whereby we reinforce values in families. We have done workshops not just for our students and faculty, but also for the family members of our students and faculty. We have also conducted workshops for principals and teachers of nearby schools, as well as from Bharatpur. We conducted workshops for the inmates, the female inmates of the Dasna jail. We also conducted workshops for CBI Academy, for Directorate General of Resettlement. The intention is very clear that we as educators have got to spread whatever we believe is good, and we are trying our best to spread this value education to the rest of the society. I think our future plans, just half a minute on the future plans, we want to establish. So we've already gone from value education to value-based education. We already moved to value-based education. I want to now move to value-based living and living values. That's what we intend to do in our campus in the next 2 or 3 years. We would be very soon becoming a university. And at that time, I would be introducing more minor degree courses relating to human values. We also want to introduce courses on the Indian knowledge system, because I'm a firm believer that we do not have to invent anything new in our country. We just have to go back to what we already had in terms of that. And we should again get back our leadership position. So at the end, I'll just say that even though it is only the beginning of the journey, we have only started rolling on the runway. We are gathering speed. But very soon, I'm sure, in our institution, a critical mass will develop and we will achieve the takeoff speed. And after that, we are going to soar high. My definition of success in every field is very simple. Success to us is to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, and to leave the world a bit better. This is what having succeeded means to us. Thank you very much. If there's time and if there are questions, I'll be too happy to take them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agarwal. It was a very, you can say it's an eye-opener story where you spoke about how you had doubts whether values can be taught. You know, with those doubts, you all have begun. And so soon, you'll have reached a state where you can see transformation not only within your own campus, in your faculty, students, alumni, but you're already reaching out to the society outside in so many different ways. That was really nice to know about it. I think rather than, we extending this discussion, it'll be, I think there are 2 things that we can do. One is if there are questions from the delegates. And second is, since I can see, I just realized Dr. Ganesh Bagaria, we can see very small heads. So I didn't know who was there. But now I know Dr. Ganesh Bagaria, Rajul Bhaiya, everybody is here. So I'm sure even they would like to say something. You are the host institute also right now, and everybody is there on your campus, and I'm sure they must have experienced what you are saying right now. We are hearing, but they must be experiencing it.
You're
So
very right, ma'am.
Yeah.
And it is a great honor to have people like Raju Lasthana ji, Ganesh Bagadia ji sitting
yeah,
in front of me like that.
yeah,
I'll be
Yes.
happy to have you.
Yeah.
It was
And any further direction that you have would be of great
it was a
use.
lovely presentation.
Yeah, fantastic.
I've interacted with your volunteers, student volunteers, and I find that their willingness to learn and willingness to stretch themselves is higher than many of the students I've seen. So that is very nice to see. And your description of the alumni, uh, in the industry, we keep track of how many years it takes to promote somebody to project lead to project manager. So is there any, I mean, the way that you described it looks like they would be very good leadership material. So is there any study where we are able to find out that their um, promotion to these levels is
Yes.
better than,
So I get your
know,
point. I mean, we haven't had statistical study, but there are few indicators that let me think that our students are performing better. There is there's an industry called Loya Machines in Kanpur. So they take mechanical engineers from us, and they normally take not more than 4 or 5 engineers from us. One of these years, the owner of Loya Machines, a youngster who came from abroad, came to our institution, and I asked him, I said, you're just taking 3 or 4 students, then what makes you as an owner to come for selection yourself? And it was very encouraging to hear what he said. He said, we take from IITs, we take from so many institutions, but your students take the minimum amount of leave. They do not leave our institution with a minor benefit of a couple of thousand rupees elsewhere. We find your students more stable. And I have come to your college to see how these people have these qualities. That is one. Secondly, in our kind of institutions, getting a package of more than 20 used to be very, very good. In our institution, in my college, regularly for the last few years, we have at least 50 students who get a package of above 30 lakhs. The highest package in my college has been 1.2 crores, which only IITs ever thought that their students will get. So obviously the selection teams from these recruiters who come are seeing something, but I take your point now. I will follow their path in their careers, and we can easily get a feedback from them, and next time I think we will take care. One more thing. So whenever I go out of city, I always invite all the alumni to come and meet me. So we and have dinner with them. And the most surprising was in Chennai, in Madras, 106 alumni came to have dinner with me. I never realized that Chennai could have so many. So the connect is very important.
Very nice.
So
Ganesh, she would like to say something. Dr. Ganesh Bagadia.
Yeah. So I would say that what is being done here under your able guidance is something excellent. I have a lot of appreciation for it, but I have a lot of hopes also for what can be done. Right? I was just mentioning Gopal Babu and RP Singh also that with this international conference online this time, we have a fairly large number of people from abroad who are now getting acquainted with it, and we have a large number of Indians, and if I say IIT Kanpur, for example, a fairly large number of them are there and who would like to connect, right? And almost every one of them come once in a year during December. So if we have a living model of UHV, then probably we can ask them to visit, for 2-3 days here. And that will create a very significant impact, because I remember this work started in Bhutan because the then Vice Chancellor, Pema Thinley, was there for a similar, international conference. That time it was face to face. And on our way back, we happened to travel, same flight. And he was telling me that, when I was going to the bathroom and using the bathroom, I felt that there is a different smell in the environment, and I decided that I will get it introduced, in my university. That time, that was the only university. So he said that I noticed that, the way the students are concerned about putting the lights off when they are going out of the bathroom, or putting the geyser off, and also on the this thing classroom, and their behavior and their way of talking, it made so much of impression on me that I decided that we are going to implement it, and that's how it went, and so I feel that this place can be developed as a living model of, this UHV education. Enough work has already been done, and as you said, you are already, trying to develop it as a living model. Okay, it's going to make a significant difference, for all over the world. So that hope.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very encouraging comments. I must say, it coming from you, it means a lot to us. And definitely, I do believe that living in an environment is much more impactful than attending any number of workshops and courses. So we'll be too happy because most of these people who are touched by you would be in contact with you. So whenever you desire, individually or collectively, we'll be too happy to host them for a couple of days in our institution, not just to experience, but also to share what they're doing and what we are doing, because it is not as if we are able to do everything which is the best. It's always a learning process. I think it's a great idea, sir, and we look forward to any suggestion from you for hosting anybody from any country. We'll be very happy to do that, sir.
Yeah, and the good thing is that it is based in Delhi, so quite accessible, because
Absolutely.
people coming from outside, they either land in Delhi or Bombay, like that. So they can just take out 2-3 days time, and that we can coordinate. And if we do that, I think this Bhutan thing can be repeated in many countries.
True. I also joined you in Bhutan, if you can recollect, and it was amazing to see the way the Queen Mother and their entire system was supporting this particular movement over there. The entire government was supported. A similar thing would happen with us. We'll be very happy to host them on our own. I mean, they don't have to do anything. I'll be happy to pick them up, to drop them, to house them in our campus. So whenever you say, there's no issue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ganeshji, for your great vision. And I'm sure the sharing session over here will lead us to some another level. And without spending more time, since we are running short of time, we would like to give opportunity to Dr. Manoj Tarambale from the PVG College, Principal of PVG College, to say a few words now for both the institutions.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, one and all. So the two presentations were so outstanding. I am the first comment from my side is roots of UHV tree has gone deep and deep. So this is really great. So particularly APJ Abdul Kalam University and the presentation given by Dr. Kumar Sambhav, it was really outstanding. One can do a work for institute, but to bring this at a university level is really a difficult task. And sir, you have done that part. You are having really a potential and you have shown that part. One thing is very interesting, which I have found in these two universities. So I'm comparing all these things with Maharashtra. Please try to understand. The contest is my college or within Maharashtra. So UHV is there, no doubt about it. But the pattern which UP, Noida, they are following, that is fundamental courses, some advanced courses, minor courses, major courses. So it is not only one semester, 2 to 3 hours activity. It is a continuously for one semester, second, third, fourth, fifth, so that the idea of the UHV will be rooted in the student's mind clearly with no ambiguity, and their future will be shaped accordingly. So what I feel, it is not a what is done. Then something about Ajay Kumar Gar College of Engineering, Ghaziabad. So Captain R.K. Agrawal sir has done really a marvelous job. So taking all the faculty in confidence, and the one thing which I found very good, that is the things will start from top. What he has done, the principal, the HODs, so he has trained them refresher by through refresher courses. So top to bottom approach is really good. If the top authorities are convinced, then everyone will follow the system very well. Sir, your system of connecting with alumni is great. And another thing, staff involvement is also good in your all these activities, and your reward system is really appreciable. So everyone will do the work, but when they are, this is noticed, when it is rewarded, when it is appreciated, the things will grow in a faster fashion. So that part is there, and your award system for integrity. So that part is really a marvelous. Everyone has to follow. This is from my side. Really, two outstanding presentation I am witnessed, and as a opportunity given by Universal Human Value or this conference to me, that is a chairperson, I thanks Pooja Didi, Ila Didi, and all other members for shouldering me this responsibility. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manoj. And I would really like to thank once again the two presentations of AKGEC and AKTU, the presenters also, and the entire audience who's here. I mean, I was not imagining so many of us will be here together. We thought it'll be one of those parallel sessions like we normally have, but it turned out to be a very great session. Not only from the speaker side, of course, they have done magnanimous work, so it had to be great, but even from the audience side, thanks to each one of you. And I hand over this to Pooja Didi, who will take this session and take it
Yeah,
forward.
one thing is remaining from my side. So really a great that Ganesh ji and Asthana ji. So these two members were present, and that is really a cherry on the cake. What I will say for this type of session. So that is really appreciable. Thank you.
Yeah, we only missed seeing Gopal Babu here, who's our
Oh,
familiar face, the face for AKGC.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we miss seeing, oh, you're here only. Actually, we cannot see you much. You know, the screen is such that we can't see all of you. You're just right there. Thank you so much, Gopal Bhaiya. It was a great honor to have Kumar Bhaiya, Gopal Bhaiya, Rajul Bhaiya, and Ganesh in one frame. Thank you so much. So here it is now for Pooja.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Ila Didi. I would like to thank our chairperson, Dr. Manoj Tarambaleji, and Dr. Ila Didiaji for their sharp observations. I would also like to thank Dr. Kumar Sambhavji and R.K. Agrawalji for sharing their university's journey and their practices. We are very inspired by it. Gratitude also to Ganesh, Bagaria-ji, Raj, and all our mentors for always supporting and always directing us. I would like to thank everybody on the Zoom and YouTube for being with us and attending the session. And also I appreciate the ceaseless effort and contribution which is done by the technical team and all the volunteers. Thank you one and all. And
I'd just like to
would
add one thanks to
like
Vanchana
to
Didi.
invite all of you.
I'd just like to thank Vanchana Didi for being here and witnessing the entire program, encouraging all of us. Thank you so much, Vanchana Didi. Yeah, and there'll be a break for half an hour. And you can,
thank you, Didi.
Yeah.
Join us after.
Yeah, do join us after half an hour for the panel discussions. Thank you so much.